I've met many people over the years, and in my opinion, I have found that people are the same everywhere. They have the same fears, shed similar tears, die in so many years. The oppressed seem to have suffered the most in every continent, coast to coast. Now our lives are in the hands of the pusher man. We break it all down in hopes that you might understand how to protect yourself. Don't make no profit for the man.
Wa salam, salam. Our children are restless right now, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. They are restless. This is from the desk of the Emissary, the Black News Network, broadcasting live with a video podcast. I am War Smith. I'm a host of the War Report. We do not own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. Our children are restless, and they're restless because our parents are not paying attention to what these young people are doing. Just yesterday, we had another shooting at a high school football game. One 16-year-old fella dead. This is where, during the daytime when the school shootings happen, you can just about put your hand on it and say that it's white children doing this dirt. But if it's at night at the football game, you can rest assured that it's black doing the shooting. I don't feel pleasure in reporting this type of information. This is something that is not what we expect from our children. We grow up in a society where there is none of, when we were growing up, there was none of this. No killings here and there. Killing was sparingly. Every 5-10 years, maybe somebody got hit or got shot, but not every damn day. In this day and time, we're experiencing death among our children every goddamn day. That's a problem for me. And you have to ask yourself, why are we experiencing so many deaths from within our youth ranks? And the only reason I can think of where we would be experiencing this is that our children have not received the supervision that they need to transition into adulthood or teenager, to transition into a teenager. Because the coping skills that's required have not been instilled in that young man or that young woman. They don't understand that. Well, let's talk about the young women first. The young women don't seem to understand that when Allah decides, God decides to create something that's precious, that he holds dear, he hides it. It's hidden. Man has got to go hunt for these things because it's not going to be right out there in the open for you to grab it. Think about it. Let's say you wanted to be a diamond person. You wanted to hunt diamonds. Very rarely do everybody hunting diamonds find diamonds. Diamonds are created deep in the earth. And then sometimes when the volcanoes erupt, they spew diamonds in the topsoils and reachable to man. But for the most part, you got to work very, very hard. And even harder to get a bigger. And if you're blessed by Allah, God, then you may be lucky enough to find a diamond. Precious material from the earth. What if it was gold? You're not going to just find gold on top of the soil. These guys go out and they risk their lives moving thousands of tons of dirt to find 20 ounces of gold. They tear up a lot of damn topsoil, a lot of dirt to find 20 ounces of gold. But they find it, you know. They get lucky enough to find the gold. And that's something that we don't want to go through. Black people are not out there with that panning for gold. We're not down there in that hole digging for gold. We're not over in the Bering Sea under the water and under the ice digging for gold. It's precious and it's not easily gotten to. You can't get to it. It's precious. Now, don't forget what I'm leading to here. I'm leading to our black women. You have to look at what's actually happening out here with our black women. They go to church and they wear the tightest dresses, the shortest skirts, the most revealing tops. They wear this to church. Preacher don't mind because he like looking at it. He's a damn pervert any damn way, stealing people money that they can't even pay the damn rent. He taking people money that can't pay their rent. This is what's happening in our churches. Women are a precious gift from God. But when you see a woman walking down the street with her titties out. I'm just going to tell you like it is. With her titties out, the nipples showing, with her ass out, shaking like a damn bowl of jello, with her legs out, then that preciousness goes away. It's not there anymore. So that particular woman gave up being precious, being the God gift as a precious thing on this planet, to being what they are today, revealing the entire body. You don't leave anything to the imagination. A man look at you, and what do you think he's saying? Look at that right there. And then if he touches you, you want to scream rape or harassment or some bullshit to get that man in trouble. But look at you. Look at what you're wearing. Look at how you're presenting yourself in public. You're no longer precious in God's eye. You have lost that preciousness because you have revealed all the precious goods that God gave you. You no longer have those precious goods as a commodity that's yours and yours alone. Everybody see it. Everybody can see your ass shaking. Everybody can see your nipples. Everybody can see your titties. And you walking around like you looking good. But you just don't know. You done sold your soul to the devil. That's what you've done. The preciousness of gold is hard to get. The preciousness of silver, diamonds, hard to get. The preciousness of oil, hard to get. But black women are not precious anymore because they show everything. And they show it in church too. Black women, I'm telling you this because maybe you're not aware that you are a blessing to mankind. Not just black women, all women. All women that display themselves like a hot commodity, like they're standing on the cell block, getting auctioned off. You want to see who can wear the shortest skirt, the tallest heels, and show the biggest titties. And you think that's cute. Anyways, high school is a problem. And anytime you see black kids getting into it over in high school, it's because it's got something to do with men and the women. Something happened. Somebody's talking to my girlfriend. Some old stupid shit that they go fight by. I cannot believe the amount of violence in the kids in school today. See, they are the ones that will suffer from the blind side of justice. When the police get involved, the parents are nowhere to be found. The children are getting treated like adults. Our children are getting treated like adults because they are out of control. I'm really sorry to say they are out of control. And the only way they're going to get back in control is if you, the parent, reel your children back in and take care of the disciplinary actions required. If you spare the rod, in other words, if you don't bring the fear of God in your children, then they're going to be like these kids out there shooting at schools. This is the third school shooting in the last 7 days at night at a football game. It happened in Atlanta. Yesterday it was Baton Rouge, and the third one was Tulsa, Oklahoma. Too much going on. These kids are going to go into the juvenile justice system, and not only are the ones that got killed going to die, they dead. Well, that didn't make no sense. But not only are the ones that are being killed going to lose the life of the family, but the kid that did the shooting is going to lose the family because that kid's going to jail. They're not going to let that child off. And black kids have historically been charged worse than white kids in the same situation. So all I'm saying is, if you have a boy that's between 12 and 16, you better get your eyes on that child, because some shit is happening that you don't even know about. You better go to that school and watch your child come out of the school when it's time to go home. Watch what's happening. Your children are setting up fights in the school. And when they get out of school and there are no teachers around, there's 40 kids around videotaping 2 kids fighting. Now, what if one of those children break another child's neck, or actually damage a child to a point where that child is no longer healthy, can no longer function, can no longer do the things that they need to do? Children are beasts right now, and the justice system is going to take care of that, because it is the pipeline to prison. And because we are so busy out there seeking money, and sometimes we just can't help it. We have to go after the dollar, because if we don't go after the dollar, our children don't eat. Our children don't get clothes. We're doing the providing. We're providing, but at what cost are we providing all these things to our children? There is a cost, and the cost is what you see now, all these school shootings. They'll be in the justice system pretty soon, especially the ones who did the shooting. And they act like they don't give a damn. You can see, 100 kids see them pull the gun and shoot. You can't run, you can't hide. You might as well just shoot and then go to the police station, because they're coming to get your ass right away. You're not going to get away. That's just the start of it. The schools, there's no protection right now in the schools. You're talking about putting what they call a SRO in the schools. That's a security resource officer, a POPO, a police in the school. And you think that police is going to show favoritism? Hell yeah, he's not going. He's going to treat them black kids like black adults. He's going to treat them white kids like precious gems. That's not the answer. And some other schools have gotten the things you walk through in the airport that scan you for metal detectors at the gate where all the children have to go through. The children got to go through metal detectors to get into school, to get in class. What kind of shit is that? That's what's happening right now in America. Our children are getting treated like grown-ass criminals. That little stuff that they're doing right now is not going to make a difference. It's not going to stop what's actually happening with these children. They know how to beat you at your own game. With all this stuff going on in America, we have an issue with our children. I have Chuck Slaughter on the other line. Chuck, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you. Can you put your video up too?
I'm not appropriately dressed.
Don't put the video up.
Sorry.
All right, Chuck. Chuck, I was just discussing about these children getting killed at these schools. There have been 3 fights and killings at school football games. One in Baton Rouge yesterday, one in Atlanta last week, and one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So would you like to comment on what's happening here? What is going on? Why are these children getting so violent, and why are they so damn angry? They're getting out of school. They're beating the teachers. They're beating the parents at every level of doing their deviousness. And nobody knows until after the fact, until somebody get hurt. What's your comments on this?
Well, I tell you, it's basically the same thing that we've been saying over and over and over about, gun violence, gun controls, and eliminating guns and stuff like this. But I think our youth they have really been psychologically branded to hate one another, especially our black youth.
What?
Psychologically branded to hate one another. So to be a man, to be a man, you have to have a gun in your hand these days. When we came through, we stood our ground. We made it known that we were men, and you didn't mess with us. And if you did, then you had to pay a consequence. But we had a reason why we did what we did. These guys out here are just doing things just because you looked at me the wrong way. You did this, something real minor. And I think the feminization of the black man or men in general is the reason why we have so many men out here trying to be a man with a gun in his hand. And guns do not make men.
Okay. Well, right now we're experiencing these kids getting out of school, and they're going where the teachers can't see them, and they are fighting and trying to beat each other up there, and they're videotaping it. There's another 10, 12 kids around them videotaping the fight. And next thing you know, you see your child in the middle of a fight on YouTube or on Facebook, and you're looking at this, and it's just unbelievable that this is what you gotta see, and this is how you gotta see your child. This is just a small part of what's actually happening out here. A very small part. We are not touching this at all. We're putting these police in the schools. We're putting the metal detectors at the door. It's not going to change what's actually happening because the kids are too damn smart. They're getting around every damn thing you do. Just a week ago, a child got to take a gun to school, and they took it from him, but they found it in the school, not coming in the school, already in the school. Same with this kid that shot the teacher in her hand a few months ago. It's so much stuff going on in our children's school right now that we don't know about. And we don't know about it because we're so busy working. They ain't talking about us, Chuck. I'm talking about most parents. They don't have time to figure out what's happening at school. When a parent's got to go to school, they're going to go in there raising hell because you are taking that parent off that job. That parent is not going to be making money at the school trying to discipline their kid. So what is the disconnect here?
Warren, I think really we got to get back to the basics. See, a lot of these problems that we're having in the school with our children, they are coming from families of low income status. Those children that come from families with money and a higher income status are not having as many problems as the ones that's not getting the nurturing that they need. Yes, a lot of our parents that's living in low income status, they're working 2 and 3 jobs trying to make ends meet, and they still have to get assistance from the welfare. But they're working, it's having their 14, 16 hours a day. They don't have time to spend with the children after school studying. They don't have time to, do anything but eat and sleep and send them to school. And these kids are just not getting the nurturing that they need at home. And we got to change that for one. That's why I believe we're on the right track when we're saying that we got to rebuild the black family and put it back in order. That's what's got to happen.
So, wow, that sounds like a damn monumental task.
It is. But it's easy. It's easy if we just woke. We get woke. We're supposed to be woke.
Here we go with that woke shit again.
Yeah, we gotta wake up. If we just do it and use our mind and quit trying to compete against one another. The black man, the black woman competing against one another. The black man is the
do you think the black man is competing against the black woman?
No. I think the black woman trying to compete against the black man for his job as provider and protector and blaming him for not being in the home. We know why the black man is not in the home. And once the government ran him out, our sisters did not let him back in. And
okay, walk us up to that point. Why the black man is not in the home, Chuck?
Well, I was listening to two of the presidential candidates last week. Go West with not Reverend, but with Dr. Cornel West. His campaign is Go West. And then Larry Elder was on the Breakfast Club as well, and he's running for president under the Republican ticket. But he did mention something that caught my attention. He had said that since 1947, 1946, somewhere along in there, that he remembers when the government had workers going door to door knocking on the homes of black families, and they were telling them that we got this, that, and the other for you. We can take care of you and the children, but your husband's got to leave. Now, that's what he told us on the show in 1947. I thought that's about when it started, because I remember when the welfare people would come in the house, and if there was a sign of a man that was living there, you lost your benefits. So they ran the man out the house, so he left so that the family could be taken care of, because he had, at one point, the black man unemployment rate was around 4%. But then they started discriminating and all this kind of stuff. The next thing you know, the unemployment rate is up around 17%, and the white unemployment rate had raised to 4%. So he didn't have no way to take care of his family, and they this is the offer they made him. So we need to stop blaming the black man. We was having problems just like the black woman was, but coming out of slavery. In slavery, the sister was put in charge of the family, and I take my hat off. I have the utmost respect for the black women that was in the struggle, that was out there with us, but today they need to wake up and understand we are the protectors, we are the providers. We're trying to do that, but we can't do it if you don't let us do it. I'm not going to fight with them anymore.
So the women they need to get out of the, I'm gonna just say it like I think it. The women need to get out of the way and let the man have his position
Either that, the man needs to choose a woman that understands her role in the family.
Because there are roles. I don't care what nobody say. There are roles.
The woman has a role in the family, and the man has a role in the family. The woman needs to allow the man to do his job. And the man needs to do his job. We'll take that. That's some men out there that they say, well, hey, man, like right now, if I was a young man looking for a wife, I think the last thing I would want in a wife is a woman that claims she's a strong, independent black woman. Okay, fine. Enjoy yourself.
What's wrong with it? Wait a minute. What's wrong with a strong, independent black woman?
Nothing. But you don't need no strong, independent black man.
So that ain't gonna work, right?
That ain't gonna change the relationship between her and her man.
You got a point there.
That's where they kind of challenge you at, So now I always have the last word when it comes to my discussions with my wife. And I say that, and I know.
You figure you gonna get the last word just cause you the man?
That's right. Let me show you why. Now, when me and the wife sit down and discuss an issue, okay, she tells her side, I tell my side. All right, and then if she is right, I have to be man enough to understand, to let her know, well, you're right, sweetheart. We're gonna go with your plan. What happened? I just said we're gonna go with your plan. That's the final word. Huh? Now
The final word is just you agreeing to go with her plan.
that's
That's great. That's a great
in,
analogy.
in that situation though. In that situation, now if her plan is not the best and mine is, I got to explain to her why hers would be damaging and mine would be better. And if she's woman enough, then she will understand that and accept it. Accept it and agree. Again, I had the final word.
Okay.
That's
Well,
the,
Chuck,
that's
Chuck,
the leadership of the family. That's why he's the head of the family. And above him is God. It's God, man, woman, children.
God, man, woman, children. I got you. That makes sense. All right. With that, we've discussed the children. We've discussed the wife. Let's go on to a couple other little issues I wanted to talk to you about that we didn't get a chance to talk about yet. COVID, the flu, this thing they call the RSV. All this stuff is surging up again, and America ain't gonna do what they did the first time. They're not gonna shut this shit down.
Okay.
They're gonna weather the storm, and more people are gonna get sick, and people are going to these games. They're going to events. They're going to restaurants. They're bringing people into their homes that may have the virus. People are getting sick right now with this virus, and they are still moving around like ain't shit happening here. The rates are going up. So what do you think about this stuff with the COVID? Because they're coming out with a new vaccine this month, and they probably going to try to mandate that one too. And if you got a job, they're going to tell you can't come back to work until you get this new vaccine.
Oh, okay. Before I make a comment on that, I would like to go back to the family issue.
All right.
Let everybody know that on September 23rd, we will have the Black Family Reunion at Plex Park from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening. We're promoting unity. We're promoting the Independent Black Voters Registration Drive put on by BEVA, Black Independent Voters Association. And we do have a barbecue fundraiser going on for the African American Capital Reserve Fund. The African American Capital Reserve Fund is designed to give back to Black and create more Black jobs so we can put our people to work. We have to do like every other culture, invest in our people and put them to work. And if we're not doing that, we're not going to go anywhere. But now, as far as the viruses, I don't know. Every year we come out with a different strand, and then we have to take a vaccine for that strand. And I took them all and feel pretty good, but I have some concerns because I have this here little, not a congestion, but just so often you just have to clear your throat or clear your chest just to expectorate something. And I'm wondering if that's not the reaction from the virus, from the vaccine, keeping the virus out of your body. I have never done that before. After we've taken these vaccines, I'm just wondering because it's something that happens too frequently when it's not even the time of the year to be congested or something like that.
That's right. It's not that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if the vaccine.
So you think the vaccine did it to you? Go ahead.
Talked about the vaccine that they had some side effects, but this is something that I wasn't doing before I took the vaccine, and now it seems like I'm not even sick. I'm not congested, but I had to clear my airway and expectorate a big sputum plug, and I don't know why. So I think it's.
You think it's from the vaccine?
I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious. Could
Are
be.
you going to take the next shot?
I hadn't made up my mind yet because I'm thinking that it's still pretty flat. I mean, I know they're increasing. I don't know why it's increasing. Maybe the people are not. Maybe it's increasing amongst the people that hadn't taken the vaccine before. Maybe it's increasing because the people are not taking the vitamin C, B3, and the other substance. I take all three of them every day. You know, and
So it really ain't no telling.
yeah, the one thing I just say, I just put my trust in the Lord.
So what do we tell our viewers? I tell you what I would tell people. Sometimes when we're live, we don't get as many viewers, but people come in after the fact and look at it on Facebook and on YouTube and stuff like that. But the bottom line is we got to protect ourselves, because if we're not trying to protect ourselves from this stuff that's happening out here, we're going to end up getting caught up, because America is not prepared for another surge of the level that we had a few years ago. America ain't ready for that.
You think it'll get back to that level? I don't think it'll get back to that level, really.
I hope not, but with it rising and there's no solution in place, because the issue is the ventilators in the hospital, right? If they're not, if all the ventilators get filled up, and they get filled up quick because it's not that damn many, and once those ventilators get filled, then it's a crisis, because people will be dying because they cannot have access to the health care that they need to survive.
Well, Warren, they say that just because you took the virus doesn't mean you weren't going to catch the just because you took the vaccine doesn't mean you wouldn't catch the virus.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But the thing about it may be on the rise, but to the best of my knowledge, there are no hospitalizations going on. They're handling it still.
It's something going on, Chuck. I mean, they just reported it today on CNN.
Yeah, I think so. But they ain't had no deaths.
I don't know if they had any death. I didn't check on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
It's something to watch.
Yeah, it's something to keep your eye on, and people that are out there just suggested, put your mask back on. If you're going to Walmart, if you're going to a game, you're sitting real close to people, put your mask on, because you don't want nobody with that shit breathing on you. That's like if you breathe, let's say if you breathe the air of somebody with that virus, you turn into a zombie, and you end up making the whole damn city you live in a zombie. We got problems.
I'm just. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I think there's a lot of scare tactics going on to scare the American people to death. Make them go out and do shit that don't need to be doing. You know what I mean? I think a lot of scare tactics. We use a lot of psychological warfare against the American people, and that needs to be. I don't know.
Well, who used this psychological warfare?
The haves. I call them the haves.
I would say the newscasters, because that's where we're getting it from.
Yeah, that's part of them. They go out and put out and broadcast on what it is they want to broadcast on, But and then we got to just try to control the news media as well. That we need to put a lot of positive stuff out there that Black people are doing, and tell them to report on that, and quit focusing so much on the negative issue.
They stay on that.
Yeah, and they always have. They always have, and so we just there's so much coming from under the cover that we didn't know about. On our Black think tank, we got some historians on there, and they're constantly educating us about the history and the stuff that I didn't know. Even you, when you talk about the breakdown of Morocco and that the United States and Canada, the northwest part of the continent of Africa before it broke away, and it made sense that they didn't bring millions of people across the ocean to America. It broke off from the continent, as you say, and they was already here. The people was already here, the majority of them. They just, I don't know how in the hell they let them turn them into slaves, though.
They did it. And then they put the white people that didn't have shit on horseback and made them police officers, made them the slave catchers.
Yeah.
That and it ain't no different today. These white folks that ain't got shit go to the police force.
Right.
They go there to get status and to get respect, and then they want the respect from us, from black people, because we're way ahead of them, and they want to put us back in our place.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm seeing. Like this,
that's why you see what's going on today and state governments around, especially in Florida and Texas, banning DEI, banning doing away with affirmative action. I want to teach CRT. Okay, fine. I think that getting rid of affirmative action might be a good thing for us. Because now we don't have to worry about being diverse. We can go out and be independent, start
independently black,
and create an industry of our own to put our people to work. But it's going to take all of us. I mean, if every black person just gave $1, just send $1 to the African American Capital Reserve Fund, we would have enough money to start making money and paying some salaries and putting people to work.
It would be a lot of money coming to that organization.
Just $1 a year. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. Now, I was asking from $10 to $100 once a year donation. That means the poorest can do a 1 year donation of $10, and the very richest can do $100, and their gatekeeper won't realize that they lost $100 out of them billions of dollars that they got up there. So
yeah, you're right.
If 10%,
I wanted to ask you. We're gonna come back to money in just a second, Chuck. But I wanted to ask you: did you see what this cop did to this black lady in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, where he walked up to the car? She was parked. She was parked waiting on somebody to go celebrate her birthday, and she was waiting on her friend to come off the beach. So she was sitting there in the car talking to her mom. And this white cop walked up to the car and said, "Give me your driver's license." He didn't say hi. He didn't say, "Hey, I need to look at your license," because he didn't say anything like that. He said, "Give me your driver's license." And the lady looked at him and said, "Well, why? Why do you need my driver's license?" And he responded that, "If you don't give me your driver's license, I'm taking you to jail." What? Some bullshit like that. So now it's finna to go, it's finna elevate. She said, "I don't feel safe getting out of the car or handing you my driver's license. I need your supervisor here." And he ignored that statement, and he opened the woman's door and he snatched her out the car and threw her to the pavement and put his knee in her back and put handcuffs on her. And his gun flew out of his holster and moved over about 8 to 10 feet. And so the girl, the officer wrote in his report that she attacked him and caused him to have severe injuries to his shoulder or some bullshit like that. And you got the video, you got the cop's videotape showing that she ain't did nothing. And this ain't the first time he's done that to a black woman. It's like the third time in several years. And the police chief is black and didn't do shit about that with this white cop. They're not reviewing those cameras that these cops wear. People are not reviewing the footage, because if you review the footage, you won't have all this bullshit going on where people act like they didn't mean nothing. Like these motherfuckers, excuse my language, Chuck, I got to talk the way I talk. These motherfuckers saying that January 6th didn't happen. What is wrong with these people?
What is wrong with these people? I don't know. I guess they think that we are all stupid people, ignorant, and we don't. What we see is not what we see.
So you think January 6th did happen?
No, I don't think it did happen. No.
What?
I know it happened.
Uh-huh.
I know. I see.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I saw it too,
And if
Chuck.
America, if the Justice Department, if the DOJ, and Americans allow Donald Trump to get off, then we are screwed in America. We're
Man,
screwed.
he got so many indictments on his ass. I mean,
91.
ain't no human being on the planet got that many damn indictments.
And let me and you get one indictment, we gonna get fired from a job, can't work, can't get a job because you're under. You got a court coming up. Date coming up.
We ain't never gonna work again because of the law. The people ain't gonna let us.
That's right. And
they gonna rot our ass off the range.
And here they are trying to put this man back in the office as the president of this country after what he did and instigated and told the people, let's go to the White House. Yes. It's a talking with a forked tongue. That's what I call it.
This is some bullshit. But you know, the way things are going, this white man gonna be back in that White House.
If he does.
But this is the oldest damn man, and him and Biden, two old ass white men, in the goddamn way. They need to go.
They need. We need.
But
as a matter of fact, we need a mandatory retirement policy.
You ain't lying. Have you seen the ages of all the people in the Senate?
Oh man, they up there.
They got a 90-year-old motherfucker still in the damn Senate. What the hell he doing? Look at Dianne Feinstein. Look at Mitch McConnell with his seized up ass. He's seizing up again. He done had 2 seizures standing at the mic on national TV.
And they don't tell you how many off the mic.
Yeah.
But you know, he had a concussion, and that's what's part of the normal process. I don't buy that.
And then that lying ass doctor said he was okay.
Yeah, they gonna say
damn well he was okay.
They gonna say that because they need to keep him in there for his vote. But he's telling them to be cautious on trying to open an impeachment inquiry on Joe Biden. Yeah. He's not supporting that shit, you know. So
well, at least he's doing something. They need to quit that shit, man. They since everybody's going after Donald Trump, the Republicans trying their damnedest to go after Hunter Biden.
Trying to find,
you know, they can't fuck with Joe Biden, so they're going after his son.
Okay, they're trying to tie him to his son.
Yeah, and they trying like hell. That don't, you know, it's ridiculous the shit that these white folks do to get back at people. They the damn most treacherous, revenge-seeking, fighting people I've ever seen. You know, they've always been like that. Like you said the other day, they said never again will they be caught up in that situation. There's a few more things I'm gonna mention, Chuck, and you can pick one of them out or all of them out and talk about them. But I don't know if you're familiar with the Crown Act in Texas, basically saying that no job can question the way you wear your hair, and if they do, it's a civil rights violation. So black people can wear their hair any damn way they want to because they got the Crown Act to back them up for wearing their hair. And if an employer says anything to you about your hair, then you got a lawsuit against that employer because they cannot regulate the way you wear your hair. I don't know if you recall, there was a little kid that playing sports and the white lady cut off his locks.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the parents go up there wanting to whoop the teacher ass. But see, if you had been involved in that child's life, that shit would have never happened. If you knew those people that was supposed to have been supervising him, it would never happen. All right, that's just one topic. Then I want to tell you about Pope Francis called Americans, the American Catholics. He said that the American Catholics are backward minded. Ain't that some shit? He talking shit about America, boy. That don't make no sense. And you know, the truth matters. The truth matters. I mean, for everything. The other big part of the information I want to make sure I mention is the SNAP program. And, you know, where you get, there used to be food stamps for us, but now they call it the SNAP program. They're going to make everybody under a certain age work 80 hours a month in order to remain on the SNAP program. If you don't show that you put 80 hours in on work, then they're going to cut your benefits. And this is how they're weaning, they're making people poorer and poorer, but they're weaning people off of state and federal support. So in Texas alone, there's going to be over 750,000 people that'll lose SNAP benefits. So if you know anybody out there that's on SNAP, just let them know that this is what's coming, and they're going to have to do something, or they're going to get caught up with not getting the subsidies that they get now. Harriet Tubman, a sculpture was done of Harriet Tubman, a beautiful sculpture, and it was displayed in Philadelphia. And then the city liked it so much that they proposed to buy the statue from the sculpturer. And just so happened they find out that the sculpturer is a white man. So all hell done broke loose in Philadelphia about this damn sculpture. And if they're going to spend taxpayer money, go ahead. You said something?
No, I was just...
Okay. If the city can't buy it now, say, because the Tubman family said they like the sculpture, but they really wish it would have been a black man who did it. So now they fighting over a new sculpture. They said it should have went through the solicitation process. People should have submitted their designs. The council should have picked one or picked several, and then the city should have voted on which one they liked the best. And they did that. And now they're going to get a black sculptor to do Harriet Tubman statue that they're going to buy. The city's going to buy. But this statue that the man made already is a beautiful statue. So if you haven't seen it, just look it up in Philadelphia. I always ask the question, if you're going to let white people start doing black shit, historical shit, then why don't you change the Edmund Pettus Bridge to the John Lewis Bridge? You know, that damn bridge got a Klansman name on it. And I've been on that bridge. I took some pictures on that bridge in Montgomery, Alabama. Is it Montgomery? Oh, Selma, Alabama, right outside of Selma. That's a something. And this is something just for food for thought. $50, right? If you take $50 bill and you spend it in all these stores, every penny you spent is going to remain up to that $50 bill. It's not going to change. If they gave you that $50 back, it all comes back to you. And it's no problem with that $50 bill. So $50 remain $50 after 20 transactions. You can do all these transactions with that $50, but it's still $50. But if you took $50 on your debit card or on your credit card, then that $50 now gonna lose $1.50 for processing fees, and that money goes to the bank. So now you got $48.50. So now you ain't never gonna get back. You ain't never gonna get that $1.50 back. But every time you use your debit card and your credit card, there's a fee associated with that lowers the cost lowers the price of your money, and you can never get that money back. So after 20 transactions using your credit card or your debit card, that $50 that you are spending is now $28.75. So look how much money the bank done made off of your $50. And that's just on one person. But they doing millions of people like that. And they're getting so fucking rich off of the backs of people that don't understand that this shit is killing us. Start using cash. That's all I'm saying. Because right now, we're paying these damn banks, and they're just getting richer and richer, and they ain't giving us shit to go behind them. We can't get no damn loan.
That's true, because, and I tell you what I tell people today, and I learned it the hard way. that with those banks that overdraft protection. Deny it. You don't need it. If you ain't got it, you don't.
Do you
just
pay for that or something or what?
no. But they got it set up to where it makes you enticing you to go out and spend money that you don't got, and then you
Okay.
go around and spend it. Every time you spend. That's an overdraft fee.
So they charge you.
Every time. So you say some people say, "Well, I just go out there and I borrow $350 from myself and just get one overdraft fee." Well, you got to pay that $350.
That's
plus
$35, right?
Yeah, you got to pay the $350 plus the $375. You got to pay back. Now, if you use that card again, that's another $35. You use it for a $5 something you're at the store. That's another $35. It adds up. So no, I don't want no overdraft protection. I ain't got it.
That's right. Because they're just ripping people off further.
Yeah, that especially poor
They
people.
coming up with nice terms. That shit sounds good. I got overdraft protection. Shit,
Yeah.
you can't fuck with me. All right, you can't mess with my money. I got protection.
Right.
All right, I got to tell you about this too. We're talking money. There's a thing called BRICS. I don't know. Have you heard of BRICS, Chuck?
No.
Well, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And there's this thing called BRICS who pull together now to create a new dollar. And the new dollar is supposed to take the value away from the American dollar. And BRICS, while we out there looking at the Titanic and that damn bullshit where the government spent $20 million to find a piece of damn blown up ship. The BRICS are creating this new form of money that's going to wipe out the value of the dollar. Right now, the dollar is valued all over the world as $1. There's nothing, no state, no country can buy a dollar for less than $1. You can't. It's $1, always $1. So if you don't watch BRICS, look up BRICS. And it talks about, well, anyway, let me tell you two more facts about BRICS. BRICS make up 40% of the world's population. Because, India got billions of people. And then the United States is $32 trillion in debt. Where they going to get them damn $32 trillion at? Because every time you turn around, Biden giving $750 million to damn Ukraine and Taiwan and Hawaii and in Florida. Everywhere he go, he dropping millions of dollars. Where this goddamn money coming from?
What's the name of that machine they use?
What, the teller machine?
No, the printing machine. They're printing up.
Ain't no damn money out there no more, man. Ain't no gold to back it up. We're spending this money and we don't have it. How can you just throw that shit around when we $37 trillion in debt? That's some bullshit. How you gonna pay that $37 trillion? And then Trump got in office and raised it up another 10 trillion. It was 27 before Trump got in there. Bus drivers are short. The country needs bus drivers. And so people ain't driving bus because the damn benefits ain't worth a shit. They ain't giving you more than $15 an hour. So now everybody's working on pay, benefits, and time you're working, all that shit to up everything on the bus drivers because kids can't get to school. And how many buses come down your street, Chuck? A bunch? I see 4 to 5 buses at my intersection a day. What the hell are all these damn, and all the buses only got 15 or less kids on it. And that's a 45 seat bus. But when I was in school, I rode the bus to high school. That damn bus was so packed, people had to stand up in the damn highway. There was no room on the damn bus. Yeah. You got a seat, and I had my assigned seat. Get your ass out of my seat. I kept my seat though. I'm just getting off topic, but I'm gonna go back to topic. God is angry, and I say God is angry because of what's happening with Florida what happened in Hawaii, what happened in, California ain't seen a hurricane in 82 years. All these things that are happening in the world today. Florida getting a hurricane, earthquakes. I mean, look across the country, tornadoes. Everything is a lot more severe than what it used to be. They haven't had a hurricane on the west side of Florida in 50 years. And now one just come through there and tore their asses up.
Yeah.
And what is going on? There's a lot going on.
Well, you said something about God being angry.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that before, and I heard it not too long, just recently, about 3 or 4 days ago too, about God being angry.
Mm-hmm.
When they were talking about the fires, they said the world was going to be destroyed by fire the next time, and it's kind of looking like it. But they say God is angry, and I've been hearing that about these hurricanes. It's coming off the west coast of Africa, and guess where they're hitting a lot? Southern coast of the United States. Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, all of those slave states.
It ain't even hurricane season. It ain't even here yet.
I thought we was in the middle of hurricane season.
No, it ain't hurricane season yet. Hurricane season starts sometime at the end of this month, September 20th, I think.
Already coming across.
I don't know when exactly.
You better look at how their conduct, because God may be angry. You treat my people this way. These are my people. I gave them this life. I made them, and you go. Yeah, I'm sending something over there for your little people.
Yeah, so I heard this the other day, and I found it to be so damn true. This today on Sundays in America, every Sunday is the most segregated day in America, or the most segregated hour in America, because black people go to their segregated churches, white people go to their segregated churches. Ain't no damn black people going to these white folks. You might have one token.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
I was just gonna say, you got a token up in there.
Hagee got quite a few blacks out there. David Robinson used to be out there in Hagee's church.
Yeah, I like Pastor Hagee though.
You do?
Yeah.
Even though he had a slave auction out there at his church.
He did?
Yeah, back in the, what was it? Back in I came here in 79, maybe in the 80s.
He had a slave auction at his church.
At his church. And they had Aunt Jemima thing on the riverboat, on the river parade one year. Aunt Jemima.
Hagee's church?
I don't know who had that on the river wall, but Hagee's church had a slave auction.
I'm gonna try to look that up, because that's some hell of a shit. And then we'll talk about that.
When he comes on the TV after Joel Osteen, I cut him off.
Well, now I understand why, and I'll be following right with you.
Yeah, I mean, you check it out for yourself, though, because that did happen, and some of your friends around here might can tell you that Keith Tony probably can't remember it. They're probably here. That happens probably.
But people know about it. Okay, those are things we got to talk about, because if we don't talk about it, just like you just told me something I didn't know, black people are flocking to that church because they don't damn know he had that slave auction.
Yeah, because
that's why they going there.
Accepted. They want to quit. We need to stop trying to be accepted by white folks.
That's right. We don't need to be accepted.
We can't even accept each other. We can't even stand up and protect one another. But we want to go out.
We're assimilating.
White folks.
We're assimilating how to be white. I mean, everything we learned for 12 years in school, Chuck. This is a known fact. Every class from kindergarten all the way up to being a senior in high school, we are taught the European doctrine.
Yeah.
We're not, and then they're trying to remove the tiny pieces of history that's in this European doctrine about us. You know
let me say this, because we're talking about it's a very interesting conversation right now, and I got to go because I got another meeting coming up. But I look at the history here in San Antonio. I can pay attention to it. You got Douglas Elementary School, right?
Yeah.
You got the Carver Library.
Right.
You got the Carver Theater.
Right.
and maybe a couple of others around here that that you got. But you know what?
You got the Mill Waiters Way. You got the Claude Back Center, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. In other words, what I'm saying is that they got the last name right there, but that could be anybody. It doesn't tell you that it's Frederick Douglass Elementary School or it's G.W. Carver Library. That's why I started putting G.W. Carver or George Washington Carver Library. Because future generation won't know what they're talking about. They just said a Carver. They just say this, that, and the other.
They're taking away the entire name so they don't have to keep it remembered. That's crazy. But that's what's happening here in America today. I mean, this segregated hour, we're making it through. And the last thing I want to talk about, I know you got to go. If you got to go, this is Chuck Slaughter joining the Black News Network today. Very good conversation. I want to thank you for coming on, Chuck. Be ready next Sunday though, if you're available, and put on some clothes this time. You can't come on here nude, Chuck.
Hey Warren.
What? You got to go. Chuck, can you hear me? Well, let me move right along. The last thing I want to tell people in America, look out for distractions. Like I said, while we were watching the damn people searching for that lost sub that went down to see the Titanic, America and other countries was plotting to take something from us, and we have to be looking the other way. When they tell us to look this way, you better be looking that way too, because something is happening that is not being communicated to us.
Go home with it. Huh?
Something is happening, and we have to do something to it. But, our children, like I said in the beginning of the show, our children are restless, and we did a really good detailed talk on what's going on with our children. We got to do something about that. But this show is from the desk of the Emissary. This is the Black News Network, broadcasting live with a video podcast. I'm War Smith, hosting of the
Slaughter.
And he's Chuck Slaughter.
I want to say one more. If you got
go ahead.
Cause you said you was gonna list 4 or 5 different things. You did about 4 or 5, and I could pick one to choose. But I wanted to touch bases back on the schooling.
Go ahead.
I was going to do the Crown Act, but I think it's important to whatever you was talking about with elementary schooling and the way they treat our children in school. Now, one of the things I've been looking at, and I think we need to do, is I tried to start the African American Legal Defense Fund. We need a mouthpiece. The NAACP is not our mouthpiece right now. They're important, but they're not our mouthpiece. We need a legal mouthpiece. Somebody can take the heat and get in there and do something for her. We got discrimination in the schools, discrimination in the workplace. Our children are getting miseducated, are being uneducated. We need to be able to file a class action lawsuit against school districts that fail to educate any black child. And they're doing a good job because, hell, I came through school. I got the basics of my education out of a black school. The last 4 years I was in high school, was at a white school, and they gave me a social promotion because I was a good athlete. So they didn't give a damn about me getting educated. So now I've had to deal with that all the way through all my life, being undereducated and having to deal with, the shit out here. But hey, I've done it. At 72, I'm feeling good, and I'm all right.
And then look how many kids they put on Ritalin and that other drug.
The white kid.
Well, they putting the black kids on it too. Then they sending them to special ed. They put them on this drug, and then they send them to special ed. And this way they don't have to educate our children. And then I've noticed in some schools that they have this room where if a child is noisy, won't stop talking or something, they send them to this detention room in the school, and they sit there in these rooms doing nothing with some big ass person in there standing over them, making them sit still. What kind of shit is that? This is some discipline that they're doing in schools to your children, to other people's children.
That's one of the links in the chain, brother. One of the links in the chain. The
I used to go.
prison chain line.
Yeah, I used to go to the school over there, Martin Luther King, and I used to see these kids, and I used to sit in the room with them and try and help them. But they do it at that school too.
Yeah, well, that is. I remember we was up there at Sam Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They have a police officer named Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
And he had took a woman's son who was had a learning disability, caught him in the cafeteria in front of everybody, and slammed his head to the table. We went up in there, and as little people as we are, we did step up in there and had a meeting with the superintendent, the principal, and all of them about it.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually got him out of the school because maybe a week or two later, that same kid. He took a billy club out. They had the kid's cousin down on the ground up there at Sam Houston, off campus, by the way. And that's when we found out. They said the school police officer has jurisdiction from the school to your front door. I said, really? But he had taken the baton out and he hit this kid, the same kid he slammed on the head, hit him across his leg, and he had a bottle of cologne in there. Broke it, cut his leg up and stuff, because they had his cousin down on the ground, and he was asking what's going on, why are you doing this to her? And he just started beating him with the billy club. Our kids are getting attacked, and we ain't doing shit about it.
That's right. I agree with you.
And then we had the only black on the San Antonio Independent School District board, Mr. Howard, whatever his name is. I called him and sent him a voice recording of a young sister that was a student there at Sam Houston, was on her way to the bathroom to try to handle her feminine business, and two officers stopped her, put her on the ground, had her arm twisted up behind her back, and she was in excruciating pain, and they had a knee on her, and the kids, you can hear the kids videotaping it, asking, why is he treating her that way? Why is he doing that to her?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't doing anything.
And the kid was black, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, Sam Houston, yes. So, we as men, the leaders of our family and of our culture, we need to stand up and tell these white boys, y'all better get your shit together. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
I watched this group. It was a group of black men going around to different places that were being racist and asked them, what did you do this for? Why did you do that? You don't touch our kids no more. But it was several black men that formed together to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I keep looking about that thread that you created that I'm pissed off with, because these motherfuckers ain't doing a goddamn thing. I'm just saying it like it is. They just sending bullshit, talking bullshit, and ain't nobody doing nothing. So I'm really sick of it. And that's what I was telling you the other day.
I think we made the right move last week when we had the meeting, because now we're a group that's taking action. Mm-hmm. We're finna start take action. The Black Family Reunion raising money to Save Our Sons program and take a stance against black on black crime. We're now taking action. We're raising money so we can do some things in the community to help our young people. Right. But now, those that don't want to participate, that's okay. We ain't gonna lose no sleep from you. That's all right. You got yours. I'm gonna have to get ours.
One thing I hope happen out there at that picnic, Chuck, is that we can set up this softball or baseball league, because I'm so adamant about having a little league baseball team coming from the east side. And right now we ain't got nothing over here.
Well, I'm going down tomorrow morning. I'm going down and I'm going to reserve Flex Park for September 5th, 2024. Okay, September the 5th is when we're supposed to celebrate Negro League Baseball Day.
John
And
B.
we can go ahead and get it together now. We can have September 5th. We can kick off the Negro Little League Baseball Association can kick off its first Little League game.
I mean, I think I'm gonna start going around to these different agencies like the Boys and Girls Club, Claude Black, that other center over there, the Barbara Jordan Center, the David Scott YMCA, and trying to convince them to form a team. Like the David Scott YMCA should have one. Those two Boys and Girls Club, one over there by on where we start the march at, and the one over there on Commerce. Both of those should have a team, and then the Claude Black should sponsor a team, and any other center that that's in the vicinity. Like, what's the boy named Diop? Diop should have a team at his school. So that's what I'm going to start working on, finding out who got these major groups of kids, and then I'm going to see if I can get them to sponsor a baseball team.
I think we did it this is the way the Pop Warners did it. You know, they just family and friends brought the kids in, paid for it, and stuff like that. The city is going to have something to say about, you know, the Boys and Girls Clubs, the YM, because they control those organizations.
So you don't want to use them.
No, we can go there. No, we can go there and get them out. I doubt they will support a team.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go there and get I've already contacted the Boys and Girls Club and what's that center up there off of Lord?
Well, what did they say?
They wanted to work with me. That's when I was looking for the boys to have our boys summit.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for some boys, and they wanted to work with us, but you know, we had the money in place, but we didn't have the boys of the agenda, and we kind of got away from it. But hopefully, after this year family reunion, that we'll be able to get it back on track, and then have these young men. We were seeking 100 young men to take to the boys summit. We've had 4 men to sponsor 10 boys. Each 10 boys the cost to sponsor 10 boys is $250. And we've had 4 men to put up that $250, so we got 1,000 so far. And that's going to go into a fund that we're going to start. First, we got to figure out, how do we approach them? How do we connect them? How do we get their attention? How do we get inside their head? We got to have some type of approach that's not going to be offensive to them, that they can understand, and something they can do. Okay. And,
well, Chuck, you know, you and I can hold a conversation for hours. We can talk 2 or 3 days, but you know, I gotta end the show.
Yeah,
and we'll pick back up. Start jotting down some things that you're interested in, and we'll set it up so we can talk about those things on a live show again.
Yeah.
But with that, again, this is Warren Smith and
Chuck Slaughter.
and Chuck Slaughter on the Black News Network, featuring the War Report. We don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. So with that, I want you all to have a great day, and join me on Wednesday night at 6:00 for a preview of the Sunday show, talking about what we're going to talk about on Sunday, next Sunday. And join us on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. If you don't know it already, you can go to Facebook and like us on Facebook, become a team member. You can go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And all those things help. And, you know, because we do the research, we bring the news, and we're going to continue to bring the news to you. So with that, have a nice day. Thank you so much for listening.
I've met many people over the years, and in my opinion, I have found that people are the same everywhere. They have the same fears, shed similar tears, die in so many years. The oppressed seem to have suffered the most in every continent, coast to coast. Now our lives are in the hands of the pusher man. We break it all down in hopes that you might understand how to protect yourself. Don't make no profit for the man.